Morning. I see we have a couple people logging in. That's great. Welcome to the world of WaterWise plants. This is probably my most favorite topic ever. My name is Marianne. I am the director at the Orange County Coastkeeper Garden. And one of the things that we have at the garden, and we have lots and lots and lots of them, are WaterWise plants. Obviously, since we are a drought-tolerant demonstration garden. So over the years, I have become a true fan of WaterWise plants. Today we're in my own yard, and I have actually re-landscaped my entire yard with WaterWise plants, and they're just fabulous. Let me start by saying that there's a lot of environmental reasons why you want to plant WaterWise plants. The first thing is that they use less water than your traditional thirsty plants that were popular, back in the 70s and the 80s. They use about a third less water. Once they're established, most of them can go through the summer with very little water. What that does is that reduces the amount of water that you're using. It also reduces urban runoff. I'm sure many of you have seen when you've gone out front and your neighbors run their sprinklers and you look in the gutter and there's all this water running off. One of the reasons that a lot of people are reducing their turf and putting in WaterWise plants is so they can prevent that runoff, use less water. Another really great benefit to all the WaterWise plants is that in general, they do not require any fertilizer. What's great about that is that we don't have any phosphates or any of these chemicals running into our waterways. Rarely ever have I fertilized a plant either at my house or at the Coastkeeper Garden. The only time I've needed to do it is if I see a plant that looks like it's really struggling, and then I always am sure, and then I use something that's organic. So as far as picking out your WaterWise plants, it used to be years ago, WaterWise plants were really hard to come by. When I first got into WaterWise plants, I jumped in my car and I drove all around Orange County trying to find WaterWise plants. It was not easy. Now, fast forward to today, and you walk into any nursery, and the coin is completely flipped. You're more likely to see more plants that use less water and that are WaterWise than the plants that used to be popular that take a lot of water. So now it's really easy to find WaterWise plants. And when you go in, there's just so many choices. One of the best things you can do is you need to decide in your yard where you want to plant your plants before you go shopping. And what you need to figure out is you need to figure out what type of area you're going to plant in. You need to know the sun exposure. Is it full sun? Is it part sun? Is it no sun? It's really important that you know your sun requirements. The other thing that you want to think about is when you plant your plants, you want to plant plants that have the same water requirements in the same irrigation zone. That's called hydrozoning. And what that allows you to do is set your automatic timer for a specific amount of minutes, and it applies to all the plants that are watered by that zone. So you want to plant your plants, if you can, together. It's not always possible, but that's just a general tip. The other thing that's great about WaterWise plants is that they hardly take any maintenance. I get out here in my yard maybe once a month and I'll prune and shape things just as far as guiding plants to grow a certain direction, or I'll prune off something that maybe a branch doesn't look so good, but there is really no huge major maintenance. So that's really great because you're eliminating using any gas-powered tools. I live in a community here in Orange, and on our walking paths, we still have lots and lots of traditional hedges. And my maintenance crew comes through with this big hedge trimmer and, sounds like a war is going on. And all those gas emissions go into the air. So what's really great about most WaterWise plants is they do not require any type of pruning or, a hedge clipper or anything like that. Okay, before you get gardening, the one thing you want to do is you want to invest in a few garden tools. It makes your life so much easier. One of the things that you're going to want to get is you're going to want to get yourself a really nice pair of garden pruners. There's a company that supports our garden that makes really high quality products. It's called Fiskars. I'm not, again, endorsing the company, but I've had really good luck with them. What's great is that if any of their products break, you simply take a picture of it with your camera, you email them the photo, and they mail you a new piece of equipment. And I've done it numerous times at the garden, and it's just a really great guarantee. They have a lifetime guarantee. So you're going to want to get yourself a pair of pruners, get yourself a really nice spade. The other thing that makes a huge difference is having a really nice shovel. You wouldn't think that this makes a difference, but let me tell you, it makes a huge difference. I finally splurged and got myself a really nice shovel, and it is so much easier to dig holes. What's great about this Fisker's shovel is it actually has a ledge here, and you can put your foot on it, and you use your body weight to dig the hole. And that really helps with relieving any kind of upper back or arm taxation using this. So behoove yourself and spend the money, buy a few nice tools, and like I said, these are guaranteed for life. So it's the only shovel you'll have to buy. Okay, now let's talk about the plants. There are so many plants out there. It's just amazing. I'm going to point out a few plants that I really like today, and then you'll have an eye when you go shopping. Okay, first of all, let's talk about salvias and sages. I just love salvia and sage. This is actually called salvia hot lips, and the reason why it's called that, if you look at the flowers on it, they actually look like little lips. There's a little red part on the bottom that looks like lips. This is a fabulous plant. I have one of these in my garden. It probably gets to be about 4 by 4. It's a hummingbird magnet. The only maintenance required is once a year, you just shear it almost to the ground. It's just fabulous. And salvias come in a lot of different sizes. This one here gets to be about 4 by 4. This one here, which is a small salvia, it's a lavender purple color, this just gets to be 2 by 2. When you go out shopping, be sure and read the tags on your plants. A lot of people don't pay attention to the tag, but the tag is going to tell you sun exposure. It's going to tell you the size of the plant at full maturity, and that's one thing to really pay attention to. Often when you go shopping, you see all these cute little plants in these cute little containers, and you buy a whole bunch of them and you bring them home and you plant them, and then before you know it, your cute little plant turns into this huge gigantic monster, and you spend your life pruning. So it's really important that you plan for the mature size of the plant. Another plant that I absolutely love is yarrow, and I have a white yarrow. Yarrow is great. It comes in all different colors. This one happens to be a cream and a white, and then this one here is called paprika, and the blooms come out kind of a pinkish and a really brilliant red color. Again, there's no maintenance. These stalks do dry out. You can leave them if you'd like, because the birds come and eat all the flowers. Once a year, you just cut it down to the ground, and in the spring, it grows right back. So again, it's a really great no maintenance plant, and it attracts birds and butterflies and all kinds of pollinators to your garden. The other plant that I would like to talk about a little bit today, and this, I'm actually going to be doing one of my segments just on succulents, but succulents are fabulous. You can plant them in pots or in containers, or you can do what I've done. I actually have succulents incorporated into my WaterWise garden. So it looks really nice to have succulents mixed in with a plant like this. What's nice is that they have the same water requirements. So you can intersperse succulents in with your other WaterWise plants. And it gives you a lot of texture and color and a different look. So it kind of breaks up your yard and adds a lot of interest to your yard by adding in some succulents. This is a Dudalea, and this also comes in a variety that's a California native. Really great addition. It blooms a beautiful yellow bloom. The honeybees just love it. So it's a really great addition to the garden. And this is a really fun plant, especially for kids. This is called lamb's ear. And if you feel it, it's soft and it's woolly, and it feels just like a lamb's ear. And again, this hardly takes any water. It'll get to be about 3 feet wide and about 3 feet tall, and it does bloom. It blooms a yellow, really pretty yellow bloom. And it's a great, this is actually a really great ground cover. This doesn't get too tall. This only gets to be about 3 feet tall. But again, it's called lamb's ear. It's probably one of my favorites. It's a unique plant and offers a lot of character to your garden. A lot of these WaterWise plants are adapted from climates that are similar to California. This plant here that I'm going to show you is, I can bring this guy over. This is called an Australian tea tree. And this is a really great plant. Australia has a lot of the same climate as we do. In fact, our climate's very similar to ours. So when you go to the nursery, you'll notice a lot of plants in the nurseries. If you look at the origin of the plant, oftentimes it'll say Australia. Once this is established, this takes very little water. As you can imagine, the birds and the butterflies just flock to this. It's really just a beautiful, beautiful plant. I have one in my yard, and this comes in white and it comes in pink. And again, it's called an Australian tea tree. Let's see what else I can tell you. Again, the main tips when purchasing plants, be sure and pick plants that have the same water requirements. On the tag, it'll say moderate, low, or very low. Those are the categories. I try to always pick out ones that are low and very low. Moderate, it depends on where you live. If you're by the ocean, moderate's great. If you live here in Orange, where I live, moderate takes quite a bit of water. So for me, in a warmer part of Orange County, I pick low and very low. And again, that'll be on your tag. There's a lot of really great websites that you can go to. In fact, if you go to Orange County Coastkeepers website and you go to our Smartscape page, the very bottom, you'll see where it says resources. And what I've listed there is I've listed there my favorite sites to go to search and shop for plants. So if you'd like to go there, it's it's a great site. I can spend hours looking at all the plants. Before I close today, I'd like to thank our sponsor. Our Smartscape program in Orange County Coastkeeper is actually sponsored by Boeing. They sponsor our Smartscape program and also help us with all this great WaterWise outreach to the community. So I'd like to thank them. And I hope that, oh, one last thing, if you want to email me, my email is really simple. It's garden@coastkeeper.org. And I'd love to answer your questions. So until next week, happy gardening.